I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an...
Oh, I mean, I... I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the
Oh, come on. That's just...
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over Qianwei. That was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine. Ugh, they're not the best quality chairs, to be sure.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process. I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow, one of them is really thick.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us, there's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done. Finished?
Mom?
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets. That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you 2 are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined. I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concept.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days? My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts.
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from, but I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself. Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals if it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results.
Nice answer. All right, next.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen to.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many, but he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other. Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, but he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingbo is not very articulate and
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more.
last but not least, Zhi. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Zhi take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at rest.
Great.
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle Tien.
Take me up.
I see. Then it's more or less as.
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Zhi's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Bo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Whoa. So how did you get to know them all, Uncle?
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Wo came to my attention in the course of my work. As for Jerry, we first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, Jerry came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. He reminded me of a younger version of myself, so I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quiet. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time.
I don't know, Uncle Tien. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a...
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tien.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Fresh fish soup. Sounds tasty.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Jury purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman. When we've been fishing recently, Jury always brings some extra ingredients, but that flavor makes for a fond memory.
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tien, we've reported back. Do you have a verdict?
I appointed you as the assessment officer, and I trust your judgment. Had you not asked me why Jury's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other... Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tien. Look after yourself. So, it's gonna be Jiri, right? His manifesto was written well, and...
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests or something?
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work as my trusted assistants. They are always standing guard nearby. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who...
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Jiri?
Zhi, well, obviously as the most promising candidate, we will... Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out all kinds of things.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Boai, the owner of Wanyu Boutique? He does business at the North Wharf.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
Stabilize.
Strike a pose. Let my name echoes. Neutralize. Russian plural. Hit me up. Bullseye. Locked on. Bullseye.
Knock them down.
Gather.
Shower me with praise. Reconstitute. Open fire. Open fire. Bullseye. Locked on. Time to shine. A little ambiance. Neutralize. Let's fly.
Hold on to your hats.
Solidify.
Strike a pose. Let the world come alive. Reconstitute. This will brighten up the place. Take me up. Locked on. Locked on. Neutralize. Time to shine.
Stabilize.
Ha! Locked on. Locked on.
Knock them down.
Solidify.
Strike a pose. Let my name echoes. A little ambiance. Extract. Let's fly.
the blazing sun! Rise with the sun! Teamwork is dreamwork! Let's light it up!
Shower me with praise! Let my name echo in song!
Let the mountain's veins boil! Wrath from the sky! Bring it! Not bad. Incinerate!
Everybody stand back! Time to shine!
Hear the echoes of the valley!
Light of the blazing sun!
Burn it down!
I'm going in! Shower me with praise! Let the world come on!
Let engraved names echo!
Incinerate!
Rev the engines!
Stabilize!
Let the world come alive!
Wrath from the sky! Take me up! Mozart! Knock him down.
Yoo-hoo! Time to shine!
Mozart! Pyroclastic surge! Ah!
Shower me with threat!
Light it up!
Let's fly!
Mozart! Locked on! Hold on to your hats.
Solidify!
Let my name echo in song! Yoo-hoo!
Light of the blazing sun! Full throttle! Mozart! Mozart!
Stabilize!
Wrath from the sky!
Take me up!
Add as. Thank you for completing. Add as.
Stabilize!
Shower me with praise! Time to shine!
Burn it down!
The time is spent. Gather!
The lightning echoing song!
Be sanctified. Bow your head.
Shower me with praise! Time to shine!
Rise with the sun! Pyroclastic surge! Incinerate!
Stabilize!
The lightning echoing song! Light it up!
Let the mighty be humble! Solidified!